First and foremost, call all like Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rachakodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, still rule and teach well. And peace and blessings and safety into the Lord's elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth. Pushing this word in humility and sincerity as commanded by Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai. And you had two recent incidents that you just saw in the video. Two recent incidents of the earth swallowing people up. Well, the first clip I showed you, it was a boy in Arizona. A sinkhole opened up in his backyard and he fell in it. And you notice those Edomites, man, they wasn't really trying to save him. They was not trying to save him. You know, it's almost like one of them things where somebody's hanging off the edge of a cliff, but you don't want to help them because you think you're more scared of falling off the cliff, you know, in the process of trying to save them, which shows you that how people are going to be in these times of trouble. Nobody's going to be willing to lend a hand or help people or show mercy. It's going to be everybody for themselves. And so the brother posted it in a caption, Numbers chapter 16, verses 32 through 34. And this is what happened to Korah, Dathan, and Abiram when they tried to usurp authority over Moses, because they too were famous men, you know, and they felt that the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, was dealing with them and not Moses. But the Heavenly Father, he always set up one particular leader, and the sheep would follow that leader or representative of the Most High. And so this is Numbers chapter 16, verse 32. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses and all that pertained to Korah, and all their goods. So the Heavenly Father, this is a particular judgment of the Heavenly Father, just like a tornado, just like a fire, right? These are all, let me see if I can. I mean, it's a bunch of precepts, but I want to get something appropriate. Sirach chapter 39, verse 28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of their destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts, scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment. They shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. So the previous things listed, those are spirits. There's a particular spirit that the Heavenly Father sets out, and it's upon commandment. The Heavenly Father gives a commandment, that spirit goes out and executes the vengeance. And so the spirit of the earth swallowing you up, this is just another judgment from the Heavenly Father, because you see, the Heavenly Father is precise with his judgments. The Heavenly Father is precise with his judgments. When the earth swallowed up Korah, it swallowed up them. It swallowed up all their belongings and everything that pertained to them. So the Lord had a cookie cutter sinkhole swallow them up. It didn't swallow up anybody that it wasn't supposed to. And like manner in this video here, you notice how, and this is in North Korea, you notice how the sinkhole opens up. The van just so happened to make it past before getting swallowed up into the hole. There was a man on a motorcycle. He fell in, and he's gone. He's gone. And the van even continues to go, and it stops there. You see how it stops there? Now, why didn't the earth open up bigger and swallow up the van and swallow up all the other cars? Those cars are heavy because the Lord. It shows you that the Lord couldn't have the earth strong enough to hold 2-3 cars, 3 feet away. But then 3 feet from that, the earth is weak enough to where a humongous hole just opens up. So the Lord could easily, I say all that to say the Lord could easily swallowed up that second van, but he didn't, because it was a precise judgment. It was a precise judgment. Let me go to AI real quick. I want to ask AI, how deep can a sinkhole be? Sinkholes can vary greatly in depth, from just a few feet to over 1,000 feet deep. You see that? You see that? So this thing could be over 1,000 feet deep. Imagine you falling into a hole. Well, that kid, that shows you the two videos. They show you the varying depths of a sinkhole. It says sinkholes can vary in depth from over a few feet to 1,000 feet deep. The first video was only a few feet with the Edomite child or Edomite little boy. Okay. But the second video, who knows how deep it was? I mean, you fall into that thing and you just keep falling, man. That's a terrible way to die, man. It says some of the deepest known sinkholes include the Zia Za Tia Kang Heavenly Pit. They call it the Heavenly Pit. It's over 2,100 feet deep, and that's in China. Then you have the Sotano de las Golondrinas, Mexico, 1,100 feet deep. And you have the Great Blue Hole in Belize, about 400 feet deep. Most sinkholes that appear in urban areas tend to be much shallower, between 10 to 100 feet deep. 100 feet, that's still deep, man. You fall into 100 foot, you walking down the street and you fall into 100 foot deep hole, man. It's a wrap for you, man. Shoot, a lot of people, they fall into a 10-foot hole. It's a wrap for you. So back in Numbers chapter 16. In verse 32. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up and their houses and all the men that appertain unto Korah and all their goods. And they and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them. And that's the scariest part of the sinkhole, is that you fall in, but then as the sinkhole gets bigger, the rest of the earth on the outer rim, it falls in and falls on top of you. And then the earth can make the sinkhole close up if you want to. The Lord could close up the earth behind you if he want to. You don't normally see that in these videos, but the Lord can do that. It says, they and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed up upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them. So you heard them screaming and crying as they fell down into them holes, man. And women was probably covering their ears, crying, running away, covering their ears. Hey, people was shook. It says, and all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them, for they said, lest the earth swallow us up also. You see? That's why the Edomites, they didn't want to get close to save to save their son or to save their brother. Here it is. That's an immediate family member, and they just looked at that nigga in the hole. And the hole was shallow. It wasn't big. It wasn't too big. But they had the fear that the earth was going to swallow them up too. Now the second video, the van just sat there almost as if he wasn't afraid of getting sucked into that sinkhole. And the Lord didn't have it in the plans for it to suck him up. It says in 35, and there came out a fire from the Lord Yahweh by Shai and consumed 250 men that offered incense. So not only did the Lord have the earth swallow up those rebellious Israelites that wanted to follow those rogue Israelites, Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, but the Lord also sent down a fire from heaven. So the Lord has the earth swallowing these people up, man. Okay? Just judgment, that's all. The Lord was edifying. Call me Asherah, Shalom.